So this morning I was on the phone with my dad, and somewhere in the conversation we started talking about my van. And he starts to bring up how his dad had a camper van. And this just blew my mind because I don't ever remember a grandpa talking about this. And my grandpa talked about everything. The man wouldn't shut up. I never knew that my grandpa had a van. And he says, yeah, he had this old passenger van and he converted it into a camper. And he put a bed in the back and he had like a little kitchen set up in there. And the thing that blew my mind, I mean, I'm already blown away by what he's talking about. But anyways, my grandpa used to do dog shows. He breeded German Shepherds and he would do these dog shows. Anyways, my dad would go on these trips with him. In my mind, I'm just thinking, how did I not know this? How did this conversation never come up? And I mean, I'm like, Dad, I've had this van for 2 years and you're just now telling me this story about Grandpa? And he laughs and he's like, God, I got lots of stories. I'm like, well, keep talking, man. I want to hear more. And so I said, well, what color is the van? He says, you know what? It was green. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. My grandpa had a van just like the one I have, and he converted it into a camper van and it was green. And I'm just like, that is unbelievable. It felt like hearing this story like confirmed for me that I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. You know, it's little signs like that that I feel like the universe or God or whatever just sends you little confirmations like, hey, you know what? You're doing okay. You're in the right place. You know, it's not often that I get to have little moments like that. I really liked that. And I told him, I said, you know what, Dad? You can tell me stories anytime you want. I would love to hear them. He's like, oh, I got lots of stories. Lots of stories. I'm like, well, I would love to hear them again sometime. So I just pulled up to this guy's house. His name is Johnny Martinez. And I met him on Facebook. Now, I scoured the internet for a couple of months when I first had my sliding door break on me. And I would periodically throughout this last year and a half, I would look online, I would see if I could find the parts, and I could never find the parts. And recently, when I was dating Tiffany, she was just like, you should really just look at a lot of the junkyards around here. And I had thought about that, but I honestly felt to myself that there would never be any van parts here in the desert, of all places, which is where I was at. So I kind of picked up the search again, and I was like, if I'm going to move back into this van, I got to get that sliding door fixed. So I start looking around on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook Marketplace, I'm on Craigslist, I'm on eBay. And for the longest time, I didn't actually know what the name of the part was that I was looking for. And I finally figured it out. It's called the extender arm, which is the arm that slides out so that your door can slide out. And the attachment that goes to it, you can't really get. You have to buy the whole piece. And so the search kind of went on for a while, but for some reason in the back of my mind, I was just like, I feel like I'm going to finally find this thing. And I did. I finally found it. This guy in San Bernardino, his name is Johnny Martinez. He's got this salvage yard where he gets his parts from. He also does custom vans. He's a custom van builder, and he's got a couple of custom vans sitting right out in front of his house. And I reached out to this guy. I was like, this is what I got. This is what I need fixed. Can you help me out? He's like, yeah, sure, dude. Come on out. We'll make it happen. So here I am. And I'm unbelievably excited. Like, I'm almost jumping out of my skin excited because this is just a game changer. It's a game changer. I mean, I just didn't even want to think about what I would have to do living this van because I eventually had to take the seat back. I couldn't keep it in storage forever. So I didn't know what I was going to do. So the part that broke off was the wheel. And I still have it. I've got the wheel right here. Still got it. This is the wheel that busted off. This is literally the only piece I was looking for was this. But I had to look for the entire arm in order to find it. And I actually didn't find it. But what I did find was these pieces are relatively the same. It's just the arm is different depending on what model you get. And I have not seen a single one that had this particular arm. They're all just a little bit longer because a lot of the vans had these fenders right here. And so the door would have a longer arm and it would slide out wider, which honestly I didn't care so much about. But yeah, we just got to put this bad boy on here and it should open right up. It's been so long since I've had it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You have no idea how happy I am to see this doing this right now. She's alive. She's alive. She's alive. Just gotta get this welded up. Holy shit. It's been so long since I've seen this door open. Oh my God. I can use this again. Oh shit. It's fixed. The door is fixed. I can't even believe it. I'm just like. So I'm going to lend you guys in just the tiniest little bit of secret. Basically, I've had this latch right here. This latch right here has been broken for the better part of a year. Pretty much when I first moved into the van and I was in Huntington Beach, this snapped right off. And so I used this little string tie to tie it on there. And that is basically the only thing that's been keeping it closed. If somebody wanted to break into the van, all they would have to do is literally like lift the window up and they could get in no problem. So yeah, the excitement of doing this right now is overwhelming. Like, these are things that I didn't think I was ever going to find parts for, because it's so hard to find parts for. I mean, you go vintage, man. You're gonna learn a lot, but boy, you might pay for it too. Jeez. Wow, that works better than the one I had. I gotta tell you, this feels so good. I feel like I'm making headway and progress on my van that I haven't made in a really, really long time. This is a big deal for me. Huge. Having this door changes everything. Another small fact that you didn't know about my van is right here is where a door handle would be. Well, it never came with a door handle. The guy took it off, and I don't know why the hell he took it off. But anyways, I've never had door handles, so I've always had to pop my arm out from the outside and then pop it up to get out of my van. We're gonna fix that today. So as you can see, just taking these planks off and peeling back this insulation. This is where the handle should go. And I was using a wrench before to open it. Socket wrench worked, but obviously I want the actual handle. So he's got the handle, but we're missing the screw, and he's going back to the garage to see if he can find it. But I mean, this is just freaking awesome. It's almost like I'm getting a whole new van, because I mean, these parts were like essential parts that I just didn't have. And I couldn't find. So yeah, this is awesome. Because every time I would search for like the sliding door, it was always the wrong one. I could never find the right one to this van, this very special van. I've only seen like 2 of the same van ever. Searching camper vans. These are hard to come by, these Rally STXs. I don't see a lot of these. So I've made it back home, and sliding doors fixed, except there's one thing left I have to get done with this. So right now I'm just keeping it up with tape, but I've got to find a welder out here that can weld this back to the frame of the van, so that I can actually start using the sliding door, because right now it's just not usable. It works, but that has to be fixed before I can have it as a functioning sliding door. So that's the next step. Unfortunately, it's Sunday, so all the welding shops are closed. I know a couple people out here in Palm Springs that can do it. I just hopefully they don't charge me like an arm and a leg, because I mean, it can't be more than an hour to weld this together. Should be pretty simple. It doesn't help that it's on a hill right now, but boy, I gotta tell you, it feels good to be able to open this bad boy. It works. Tiffany gave me a couple of really cool things. In fact, before I even met Tiffany face to face, she sent me a care package. I was going through a really rough time. I was struggling very seriously with my insomnia, and she sent me a care package, and it was filled with books and, you know, notepads, and she gave me all kinds of cool stuff. A coloring book. It was just like, you know, an adult coloring book, but it was just really thoughtful and really nice. And another one of the great qualities that I miss about her was that she was very thoughtful, and she, you know, sometimes she would surprise me with things. And so sure enough, we were in Oregon together. We had gone to Portland to visit her son, and she gave me this Bigfoot scent thing because she knows I'm really big into Bigfoot. It's really, really nice of her to do that. So obviously this is gonna go on the rear view mirror. So, I miss her. I think about her all the time, and you know, I get kind of choked up because I really wanted it to work out, and we both did. I'd have to say that my all-time favorite gift that she got me is this Wanderlust. She got me this Wanderlust bracelet, and I absolutely love this bracelet. It is so awesome. I wear this with me everywhere I go, except for maybe in the shower, but it's just so cool. And she made it herself. She bought the little leather strap, and she bought this specific thing for it, and she put it all together, and this is my favorite gift from her. Oh, so this is the necklace that broke off of the string, and I ended up using it for my dream catcher, which broke just a few days ago. But it's got this infused like peppermint cinnamon oils in it, and it actually smells lovely. And whenever I feel anxious, I can just smell this. So these are all these cool little like trinkets and things that she gave me that I absolutely love. And so yeah, I'm always thinking about her. There's like a piece of her with me everywhere I go. So obviously I want to get out of the desert as soon as possible because we're getting close to here in June, and June is when it really starts to heat up in the desert. We're talking like 110s, very uncomfortable. I don't work well in that kind of heat, so luckily this year, for some reason, it's been actually cooler. I was expecting it to be hotter, but it's actually been cooler, so I'm very happy about that. So that's giving me a little bit more time to make the money that I need. So the next step is to sleep in the van. I've got a very small window to try and get that working. And so periodically throughout the next 10 days or so, I'll be sleeping in the van and trying to make it work so that we can get back on the road and do this thing. Again. It's so funny, I keep forgetting about this stupid thing. Oh shit. Well, that came out of nowhere. I wasn't ready for that one. Jesus.